amongst the wild threads of history and the myriad of paths. My path saw the Imperium rise from the ashes left in the wake of the Great Revolt. Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of the human mind. With that commandment, new avenues of human potential were explored. Mentats, Suk Doctors, Sword Masters, and the mystical Bene Gesserit Sisterhood. But it was the Navigators and their monopoly on space travel that set the conditions for the Imperium. But I am telling you of the universe you already know. Let me describe the one you do not. In this other universe, my mother, Lady Jessica, consort to Duke Leto Atreides, gave birth to a daughter, a girl they named Ariste. Because of her obedience to the Bene Gesserit, Lady Jessica is trained as a truth-sayer. Because of that training, Lady Jessica was able to detect Dr. Yue's deception. Because of the forewarning of his betrayal, House Atreides survived the Battle of Arrakeen. Because of their survival, the Emperor declared a full-scale war of assassins. Because of the war, the Sardaukar were deployed to ensure spice shipments continued without interruption. Because of the Sardaukar, the Fremen were eradicated. There was no Muad'Dib, no Lisan al-Gaib, no Kwisatz Haderach. I see a universe where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. All my visions lead to horror, except this one. This one leads to you.
Hello, hello. Hope y'all are doing good. Figured I'd do a quick little stream here, and if things go good, maybe turn it into a video. A little bit different than normal. Just sort of hanging out this time. Not a whole lot going on, but figured we'd chat a little bit and share sort of what we're doing and what we've been enjoying, what we want to do. Maybe answer some of life's biggest questions. So let's go ahead and pop in. But yeah, so the storm is coming. So, not much doing out in the deep right now. This would usually be a time where I, well, just relax and do something besides Dune. But it's also a great time to catch up on some of the things you don't normally find yourself doing. So yeah, I know a lot of the time, especially for folk like me that spend a lot of time out in the deep, you come back to Haga and you're like, okay, what do I do now? I've got a lot of resources, most everything I need. What is there left for me to do? Well, to that I say, the world is your oyster. Now you can do whatever you want to do. Whether that be gathering up, finding new builds to make, trying to put together community projects, really focusing on training and honing your abilities, and just hanging out and existing in this universe. What I like about these sandbox type of games is whatever you like to do, you can find a way to do it and enjoy it. If you like questing and storyline, obviously some of it ends with the natural storyline of the game, but you can always make a storyline for your character and sort of give him his own little, or her own little part in this universe, this little universe that you get to play in. Anyway, enough philosophical stuff. I just thought that'd be something fun to brush up on. Because I think that's a question that's hard for a lot of people to answer right now, is what do I do now? But fortunately, with Chapter 3, that'll make that question a lot easier to answer. And yeah, it gives us something to sort of work towards and get prepared for. So what do we do on Mondays when the storm is coming? Well, we're not out in the deep. We already got everything packed out. We're not going back out there. So first thing I do is make sure I'm ready to go. And fortunately with this new cargo container, with these new cargo containers, we can pretty much fit everything you would ever need to go out to the deep or anywhere in one shot. So let's take a look at what we're bringing. First thing, we'll start with metals, right? I do 6 stacks of plast, 6 of duraluminum, because you're going to need a lot of plastanium, and you can't make duraluminum out there. So cover your bases there. You can find plenty of aluminum, steel, and iron out there, so just a stack to get you started. Copper I don't bother with because you can make that up pretty quick. You don't even need water. And then what? Our refined materials, you got 5 or 6 stacks of cobalt. You definitely don't need this much spice. But I like to bring extra out so I can cash people out when we do a run, if I need to. Oh, there we go. That's looking a little better. And everything all organized so I can go through this easy. Silicone, I do about 2 rows because I always run out of it. I was doing 6 stacks and I ran out. So I'm going to try doing 2 rows this time. 3 to 4 stacks of complex machinery. A good amount of advanced machinery. Stack and a half of these servokes. Some industrial pumps. And then these are, you don't really need to bring these 3 items, but that way you can make all the fabricators. Then fiber for carpet, agave for lights. that's about everything you need to bring to build the base. Everything inside it. Obviously, you're going to want your crawler and your buggy. Some rockets to sure you up. Fuel for your wind traps and everything else, which we'll get to. Your extra slots here in a bit, but also everything else you might need for combat. Extra bells, etc. Whatever you might need. And then some staking units. I'm planning on building a lot of bases, so I have a bunch of staking units. And then fill the rest of it up with plastone. Except for a row. I say leave a row here because you're going to forget something. And then that way you can pop it in here. We forgot fuel, which we're going to need. And will be sort of what we dive into as far as how we spend our Monday here. Right before the storm. And then some sync charts. That'll be good. And a couple welding torches. So that's build to the brim. Shouldn't need anything else, but whatever we forget, we can bring in our assault. Get a little visual there. Alright, so we've got our deep kit ready. What's next? Something I like to check is see where I'm at on resources. So like if I have anything that's below 2,000, I might think, okay, now would be a good time to try and farm some of that. But it looks like I'm pretty good on most of my metals. Silicone, cobalt, everything's looking pretty nice and topped off. So probably not going to do any farming operations, but we could do that. Another thing to think is, let's say I was low on iron. I could plan out my stay out in the deep if I wanted to grab some iron out there, or I can take care of it here. So I've got options, whether it be tackling that obstacle now, or making a plan for, the task to do out there. You're always going to need power, so for me, I just use these spice generators. So we're going to need to farm some power. And so that's usually what I spend my Monday doing, is farming slag so I can make spice fuel cells, which is also how I make my money. Usually by selling the spice fuel cells and these filters. Just mostly as a way to try and use up all the spice residue I have. But even after spending a bunch today, I'm still sitting at 68 million, not bad. I don't know what other people are looking like on the server, but I'm sure no matter how you slice it, it feels substantial. So yeah, let's go ahead and farm some slag. We'll take off our still suit for this. Which that's what we're going to bring out to the deep as a still suit. And then everything you see here in the inventory, including a survey probe, which we don't need right now. Don't need all this, but if I drop it now, I'm going to forget it. So here's my method for farming. Here's my method for farming slag on Mondays nights. Or whenever I go out for it, but usually Monday nights. Let's make sure we have some people. Almost time to replace this thopter. Alright. So basically what we're going to do is just hit this shield ship a couple times until we're all filled up in our assault. You'll note that this is right by the exit, sticking out of the ground here. We're going to face towards the west for a nice clean exit. And then we're going to make our way to this opening in the ship here. Let's go ahead and turn the light on so you can see. I've done this enough to where I don't need it, but it's always helpful to be able to see. Should probably run through that a little slower the first time, but this will at least give you an idea of the routing. And then we'll give a better tour through it all. too far. And I'm sure there's probably a chest or two I'm missing in the mix, but if you see one that I'm missing, please point it out. But this is the route that I've found. Sort of works out pretty quick. Go. Seed chop. So what do we put in here? Boom, boom, boom. When you do that a few times, okay. Brush. Where's my server? Argus. There we go. Guess I haven't done a siege or server hop since I did the test server. So how do I pick which server to go to? I just random, usually whatever's first, and then try and pick one that sounds like it wasn't that one. So we're going into Tharwa. So next time we'll pick not Tharwa. So here is the entrance. Big hole. The exit is by this big old thing sticking out the ground. Turn to the left and go grab the ring. From here, you've got a chest in the same room. It's your first chest. Drop down. There's a chest here. Go back over this bridge where you landed. And there's an access room right in front of you. Got a big chest here. A locker. Across the way. There's a stairway there. We're aiming for that. And if you happen to forget your light, don't worry. There's a friendly guy right here with a light for you. It's actually better than your belt light, I think. But yeah, so you drop down here, get the band, go over there, grab another chest here. And this one. And there's this guy on the side. Which leads you right towards this other access door. And go straight across. Big open room here. A lot of stuff happening here. But we'll take it easy. Just go straight across and then left and left again. There's a bomb here. And go across. And down this way to the left. You want to stay down here to get the next ring, which is behind cargo container. And has a purple hue around it. You know you're in the right area if you see it's purple hue. This here is where we end up going, but there's a chest here. Go in here. Little chest hiding over here. Turn left. This is where you might have a lock-in fight room. It wasn't the dark room. Go straight after entering through there. And up here, the captain's chair is the main chest. Got a little chest here. A couple by the exit. And voila, you parked right towards the exit. And you're home free. Wish I could do that a little more gracefully. Exiting the world. So we went Tharwa, let's pick not Tharwa. Jakurutu. Spencer's about to break. Try to spare. So now we'll speed run a little bit. Not setting any records with this one. For you. Ooh, 11. That's, I think, about as much as you can get. This one's the jackpot. Sheesh a weesh. 90. About as high as you ever see it. We dump. Let's try a cinema version next, see how that works. forgot to see Chop. All right. Now we pick something that sounds totally unfamiliar. A beer. It's not a beer. We're gonna go cinema mode. Nice and quick. Let's do sand rat. Was good. On 5s too. Starting to fill up. Dispenser belt isn't busted anyway. Home, sweet home. Alright, let's drop off. Just grab all these. Let's get the fuel cells going. That's a lot. We got at least 2 stacks there. That's good. So yeah, I've been selling filters and cells. So let's see if any of our filters have sold. I think the cells already did. Did I grab some filters? Did. Let's grab some fuel. Sell some fuel. Yeah, you want to think. Probably want to think about what are you using a lot of. Other people will probably need a lot of it too. And what's something that is going to keep people coming back? Okay, that's probably a pretty good one. Let's make some more of those then. So we just lowered the price on our filters. Let's see if there's any fighters. Who's this? Stone. Looks like he's got the right idea. Where is popping? There's two people here. So these sold, yeah, these are selling like hotcakes. I'll be really surprised if these don't sell at 50,000 each, only 250,000 for a stack. Seems like a steal to me. But let's go ahead and put these up. $15,000 seems like a lot per unit, but they are currently selling for like 35, 40,000, 50,000 on the high end. Some undercutting by quite a bit. Can't sell it for any less than 50,000 without making a profit, because all the components for this sell for around 45,000. Leave them up for a week, and if they don't sell at this price, then we'll stop trying to sell these. What else? Is there anything we don't want to farm? Probably silicone would be good. Some cheap silicone here. Let's buy some of that. Anyone selling plant fiber? Well, we usually like to go grab that. Sure, let's buy some of that up. What else do I like to buy? Cobalt. It's pretty cheap. Buy a few stacks of that. What else do I like to get? Duraluminum? That is too pricey. 0.5 mil a stack. Nope. Send all of them to vehicle.
Welcome. Would you like... How much Stellaris would you like to dip?
Always struggles in Arakeen. What else can we do? Pay our taxes. That's fun. Talk about a good time. If you've been doing Landsrat, it's a good idea to check in with all the houses. I haven't been doing anything though.
Yes, yes.
With the
It is
Landsrat.
I, held aboard. House Verrotta never failed.
I guess I did some stuff.
You again?
No taxes. And 2 other things I want in Arakeen. One of which is a good time. There's always live music.
Ah, back so soon.
And finally,
Hello again.
Some sync charts. It's a good way to make some money if you've got buyers. You can easily sell them for $1 million. For a complete set of the Deep. Oh, I forgot to grab my purchases from the auction house. That's okay. We'll get it next time. Alright. So, that's sort of what a night of preparing for the deep looks like for me. Obviously, it depends on what you're going to get up to. For me, building a bunch of bases and sort of trying to tackle the POIs and everything. Makes sense to bring a bunch of stuff out and get some bases built. For you, maybe you want to try and swing a lands rat victory. If that's the case, you might want to start in town and be ready to bribe all the houses. Get some melange in hand. That's going to be the best way to swing a lands rat victory. But yeah, I wonder what your night of preparation looks like. Certainly ready for what the next week has for us. See if the map is up yet. Heck, maybe your preparation looks like pretty different. I used to do single backpack only challenges, which would be fun to try again, but doesn't feel quite as necessary now that we have the cargo container. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. Appreciate you all hanging out. Gonna be doing a live stream tomorrow morning. Hitting the fresh deep after the Coriolis Storm. Well, alright, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.